Hello everyone. Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing? Okay, so waiting for the GATE aspirants to join. We are starting, guys. Okay, so I think our friends will be joining in the time. Once all, welcome to the GATE Academy session on a very important point, my dear friends. We know that GATE is going to happen in another, I would say, approximately 5 months. So more or less, we have 5 months in our hand. And today we are going to discuss that how should you plan your these 5 months for EC stream. So this session is dedicated to EC stream. Okay. I just want to give our friends a minute or so that most of the guys can join. Hello everyone. Welcome. Come on, guys. Share this with your friends as well so that they can get benefited in real time. Share with your friends this link. Join with your friends. Okay, let's get started on this. So, what are we going to cover in today's session? We'll start with the important point where we'll be discussing about how to plan your core subject in these 5 months. So, I'm talking about EC stream. Although if somebody is from some other stream, they can still get benefited. The only thing they have to replace the EC core subject with their own core subject. I'll talk about the importance of mathematics and aptitude. A lot of times students tend to ignore it, right? So we'll discuss on that as well. Then I'll tell you a very effective way of revision. I'll tell you the scientific reason behind the art of revision. If you don't do it properly, that is not going to help you. So that will be our third bullet point on the agenda, and we'll discuss about the utilization of online test series. So a lot of times students don't understand the importance of online test series, and they more or less take it very late, and that actually creates a lot of, I would say, the last minute pressure to do tests and all, and those tests are not effective then. On the go, guys. I know a lot of students might have started preparing for GATE exam now, and that's where from the GATE Academy we are trying to help you with the amazing program there. So as you can see on the screen, I'll spend 5 minutes or so on this. So if you see on the screen, given that you just started for the GATE exam preparation or maybe a month ago or so it would be good to take help, and that's where the GATE Academy comes into the picture. So they're launching the crash course for GATE GATE 2022 for with a commitment to complete 100% syllabus. So just try to understand you are starting late and syllabus is going to get 100% complete. To do that, there are going to be happen a lot of live classes, from the top faculty, subject matter expert. There will be pre-recorded lectures so that you can plan your one or two subjects from your side. You can continue the live class and also attend the pre-recorded lectures. Then test. I think tests are the key to the success in GATE exam. Ebooks, which are like digital material for your courses, what are the subject. Then score booster. Score booster is more like a flagship program of the GATE Academy. I would say it is 40 hours of revision and doubt solving classes. So that can be very much helpful when you are in the last leg of GATE preparation. I would say around January time. So I think score booster does do the boosting of the GATE marks. And we also are giving you a dedicated doubt solving platform. So in, I think, 90% cases, the classes happen very good, but people are always stuck with doubt and they don't have anyone to look into. Okay, so that's where this whole I would say package can help you crack GATE 2022 with full commitment and full sincerity. If you plan it here, I think you can manage there. That was about this amazing program launch for those guys who are just starting for GATE preparation. But I'll talk about on the key agenda, which is how we can prepare for GATE exam in upcoming 5 months. So guys, I would start with the preparation strategy and plan. Okay. Let me ask you a few questions over here, then we can move ahead. For EC core subjects, if I may ask, how many of you have completed 50% of the syllabus by now? How many of you have completed 50% of the syllabus? Come on, guys. I'm looking at the chat window. Who has done 50% or more? Since we are in the middle of September, so I think it's a valid question to be asked. Anyone? Teja, good morning. Tejasri, good morning. What is your current status of GATE preparation, guys? Okay, so I think maybe the criteria for the GATE preparation, which I have said 50%, is not very comfortable, and that's where I think this session is very important for you guys. If you don't have a proper plan in place, you are not very sure that are you going to finish your all subjects, please watch another 30 minutes very carefully. So guys, if you see on the screen, I'm showing an amazing quote from Benjamin, that if you don't plan, you're planning to fail, right? So if you don't have a plan in place, 100% you're planning to fail. And with this, guys, let's initiate the plan for EC core subjects. So this slide has, excuse me, this slide has a lot of information already, as you can see. You have to be very patient. You can take a screenshot, but listen to my voiceover very carefully, else you will tend to miss. So no need to hurry. I would say please follow my points. I think it would be good that if you have some diary or some notebook in your hand, so that you can write some key points. Although it is going to be recorded, right? I know it is YouTube live, you can see it later also, you can watch it later also, but it's good to take some bullet points. When I will make some striking comparison, some amazing strategy I will share with you guys, write it in like a bullet points. No need to come again and waste another 1 hour to just go through the same thing twice. I think that is foolishness. Now I have divided the EC core subject, as you can see, in two big buckets: easy to score, difficult to score. This is all from my experience and the students' feedback. On the left hand side, if you start, the very first core subject, I have put it easy to score is network theory. And guys, make it a very interactive session. You keep talking to me throughout the whole session, right? So that I can take your question in real time. Okay. First subject is network theory, which I have put it as the best subject to start with the GATE preparation. I think since we are talking about this, I know that a lot of students already completed this subject. I have this assumption in mind. In case you're starting with this subject, well and good. If you're starting with something else from this side, don't do that. Okay, start with network theory because it is easy to score. Finish it up first. Okay, if you plan like this, then you will understand network theory is going to take more or less 80 to 100 hours, and the weightage is 10 to 12 marks. Then go to signals and system. I think time wise, you need little more time than network theory. It will take around 100 to 120 hours, and weightage is 8 to 10 marks. Control system, if you say 80 hours, look at that. And weightage is 5 to 8 marks. I'm just putting on an average range of the weightage, not I'm putting one number because we don't know what marks they're going to ask in the next exam. And then I'm coming from control to digital. And if you see, digital needs around 80 hours, 8 to 10 marks. These four subjects can be a game changer, trust me. One important call out is here, guys, that this year, I think last year onwards only, GATE took out, I think, microprocessor from digital electronics, and they have added one new subject, I would say, or I would say a mini subject within the digital electronics, that is computer organization, right? So computer organization is something you have to also take care of it. But given that it is a new subject, don't expect much from there, but still they will be going to ask question. If you combine this all, so overall time estimated, you need to spend around 400 hours. And weightage wise, if you take the range 30 to 40 marks. If you are watching this slide very closely, you would have seen that on the horizontal line, I put engineering, maths, and aptitude. So in my opinion, engineering, maths, and aptitude is not something like a separate subject you should target on. It is like coexisting with other subject. So if you are doing maths and aptitude on a daily basis, then you are going to survive the gate competition. Why I am saying that? I'll make a simple logic. You are spending around 400 hours to reach to 30 to 40 marks. Here, if you spend 150 hours, you can get 30 marks. Now tell me common sense. Tell me where you have to put less effort and getting more marks. Come on, guys. I want to hear your point on this. You are spending around 100 to 150 hours in maths and aptitude, and you can get easily 25 to 30 marks, because aptitude is 15 marks, rock solid, and maths 10 to 15 marks, depends on the paper. Come on, guys. Do you think it makes sense that if I combine these two, so approximately you have to spend around 550 hours, and it can fetch you, even if I take the lowest of the range, I'll get 57 to 70 marks. I know this is not going to be true, but on an average, if I come here, 60% weightage is from these four subjects and maths and aptitude. You guys agree? Do you guys agree with this plan? Do you think what I'm saying is plausible, is making sense here, guys? Is it logical? And this is not a plan I have thought through and I'm putting to you guys. This is a plan well in action for long. GATE is happening, I think, for many years now. And this is the plan which has given benefit to a lot of my students. So I think please focus on it. If you are thinking that you love communication system and you want to spend all your time on communication system, it will be a suicide. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. This is the easy path to get to a very good GATE marks. That's why people keep asking all the time, how to boost up my GATE score, sir? This is your plan. Focus on it. I'll talk about the timelines and everything in a while. Then difficult to score communication system, you can see around 140 hours, 10 to 12 marks. EDC around same time, 4 to 8 marks. Analog integrated circuit, 120 hours, 6 to 10 marks. Electromagnetic field theory, 120 hours, 6 to 10 marks. This is your difficult arena. Now I'll tell you how to target both the bucket very efficiently. Let's move on to the next slide. And this slide talks about your reality. It's a reality check. Reality check is that countdown has begun. Today, I would say, let's say you have pressed the button of your GATE exam preparation. Now, I think don't delay any further. Countdown begins. And if I take today as the reference, you are more or less with 135 days. And I assume on an average, everybody will be studying 5 hours daily. This is required for GATE year. If you think you want to only study 2 hours, 3 hours, and still want to get an all India rank, within 100, within 200, it's not going to happen. And if you do the maths, you will get 675 hours in your hand. Now, if you go back to the last slide, I am asking for 550 hours only for these 6 areas. And then don't forget this. I think this will be another 400 hours. So then you will realize that, wow, this is a reality check. This is a reality check because I'm asking around, asking hours is 1000 approximately, I would say. We need 1000 hours of preparation, right? And if I do on an average 5 hours daily, I get just 675 hours. Come on. Isn't not like you're not able to give the required number of hours? And that's where I'm going to open an important discussion here. And the whole 5 hours maths is based on that you have almost done 30 to 50% of syllabus already. You have some idea. This is the assumption I'm making, guys. In case you don't have done anything, and that's where you need help. That's where you need help. Suppose you are just starting, you are at 0% level, you need help, and crash course can help you. The very first slide I was discussing, the crash course can help you to complete this mammoth number of subjects and the concept in just 5 months. But you definitely going to need help. Okay, any question, guys? I'll take a pause here. You agree with the whole mathematics here, the whole plan sheet here, that you have just around 600 or 700 hours in your hand? Because I also know, practically speaking, giving more than this, I think it's not going to be a very practical scenario. Amardeep, Pavan, guys. So now I think we have got a list of the subjects to target first. And at the same time, we have a difficult area as well. If you see here, these are your difficult core subjects. How we are going to focus on it? So if I go and decide on that, first, let me ask you a very simple question. How many of you are there? And I will do a quick survey. How many of you are there in option 1, 2, 3, 4? Can you just key in these numbers in the chat box, guys? What is your current preparation level? I need your support, my dear friends. Can you just put your numbers? Are you in number 1, position 2, position 3, position 4? So I got our very first response from Amardeep. Nice. Okay, you are just starting. Okay, come on, guys. Everybody should participate. Teja 3. Okay, you are also starting with gate preparation. Anyone else? Pavan, you want to answer? Teja 3. Come on, take this poll. Manish Srinivas, ready? Okay, brother, you are telling 2 and needs a revision to be 1. Okay, makes sense. Prachita Vashisht 3 means just starting. So most of the guys who are answering, they are falling in this category. Is my understanding correct? Most of the guys, you are there. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to say. You really need some amazing plan in the place. And I would say for you guys, on an average, you might have to go to 6 to 7 hours per day, given that you are just starting. And if you still targeting our all India rank less than 500 in ECE, I think that is the requirement. Okay. Those who have completed the syllabus, they are going to get benefited out of this whole discussion very well. But those who are just starting up, they need to push their limits. They need to do something to get these things done in 50, I would say in these 500, 600 hours. And that's where you have to spend around 6 to 7 hours per day. For all those who are falling in this category, my sincere advice is that just don't do anything except GATE exam preparation on weekends. GATE on weekends. Don't do anything else, guys. So I think you should spend around 8 to 10 hours into 2 days. So around 16 to 20 hours for GATE on weekends. That will help you to accelerate. Because see, in a week, if you do 6 to 7 hours, you'll be needing around 30 to 40 hours. Out of 30 to 40 hours, you can get it 50% from weekends. This is a very good strategy. So don't waste your weekends on anything else, on some festival, cousin's wedding. Don't go anywhere. Now, starting from today, any weekend you should not waste. And plus, you really need some help. And that's where Crash Course can help you. Because that will help you to finish a lot of things without going here and there. Very dedicated session. You can finish things on time very smartly. Now let's see that if you are in this position, finish 25% or 50% of the syllabus. I think let's move on. Let's see what you guys have. So my strategic plan starts with network and couple it with analog. Interesting thing is that if you are seeing network as a core subject, that also helps you to learn analog integrated circuit. And I think you guys will not disagree with me. Network theory teaches a lot about dependent sources, and dependent sources can be can be taken help to model transistors devices, transistor circuit. So if you're good in network theory, you will be automatically better in analog integrated circuit. So you start with network theory more like from one subject from easy, one from difficult. Why? Because if you're trying to do difficult subject in the month of November, December, you actually panic. You screw up everything. So the idea is to start difficult subject now only. And you finish network theory and go from network to signal, right, in parallel. Right, let's say this is your month September, so spend September 15 days, maybe October 15 you do, then you can go to October 15 till I would say November 15, finish these 4 subjects. That could be a very good plan. And if you are fast, you have already done it, you can skip it. But you are just starting up, start network theory, go through the lectures, go through the lectures. This is common for everything. Do previous year's question, do some test, mock test, chapter test, right? Chapter test, practice more questions. Okay, previous year's question, I think I would say 25 years is good. So previous year's question of 25 years, some test you can write. I think you can take some test series, you can do tests on chapter wise test. And you can also get some question from different sources. You can do practice some more network questions. Okay. Similarly, you can do for communication, analog, signal, everything. Okay. Now, the idea is that network is very much linked to analog integrated circuit. So you study here all those circuits and then you learn those circuits to solve some other circuit. So that will be a very good combination. If you are able to finish network very quickly, you can go from network theory to signal system. And once you are done with analog integrated circuit, you can start communication system, because these are some big ticket subjects, very vast, very big. You cannot do it at the end. You guys agree? It's always a very good strategy to start a difficult subject first rather than doing the easy subject. I think Pratik is asking a good question. Sir, I have finished 50% of the syllabus and I wanted to ask, should I study one subject totally or 2 subjects simultaneously? Can you see Pratik on the screen? Your question is automatically answered, brother. The best strategy is to always combine 2 subjects. I'll tell you also another psychological reason. If you do only one subject, you will be tend to get bored, right? आप पूरे टाइम एक ही सब्जेक्ट नहीं पढ़ सकते. Every time you cannot eat the same food. You need some alternative as well, right? That's what I'm trying to say. See, if you are getting bored with network, pick it up analog. If you are getting bored with analog, pick it with. If you are very good at managing 3 subjects, I think you can also do a combination like this. But I think it is very challenging. General advice is don't do that. 2 at a time, right? And 2 at a time, I'm saying that you can give 1 month of time. I think this is also very long period. I'm saying ideally you should be able to finish this in 20 days. And I believe that you are more or less also going to study this subject and finish it up. So I think network is not something that you're going to see for the first time. So that's why I'm saying more weightage will be given to analog. Network, you will just skim through the concept quickly. You have to very do smartly and keep doing questions and track your performance. Mamta is asking, can I do preparation in 3 months? I don't think so, Mamta. If you are not going to take any crash course, you are doing on your own, I think you need 5 months. Okay. Now, guys, this is all about if you're starting with that. I am not talking about the revision plan. Pratik, wait for the revision plan. Okay. You are talking about revision plan. I am talking about 2 new subjects you're starting with, right? So it's not a revision plan I'm sharing. It is like more like we are trying to start with 2 new subjects. What should be the 2 new subjects? Make sense? You can combine signal system with communication system. Why? I can give a strong reason. You do sampling theorem in signal system. You need sampling theory in communication system. You do Fourier transform in signal system. You need Fourier transform in analog communication. The whole DSB, SSB runs on Fourier transform. Agree or not, guys? So if you are finishing Fourier transform in signal system and you are doing, let's say you are doing continuous Fourier transform in signal system, and you are directly applying this in what? Analog comms, analog communication. Mostly I would say amplitude modulation wala part, right? Isn't it, guys? So that's how these subjects are very much well balanced. And definitely you can see very closely I've kept maths everywhere. It's not that you're doing maths separately. No, maths is going always horizontal. Okay. Similarly, once you're done with these four big tough subjects, you can go to the control system, combined with EFT. Electromagnetic field theory is going to take a lot of good time, and it is not very predictable, I would say, but easy to score. I would say moderate, not easy to score, but it's not very difficult as communication system. So I think EFT you can still handle little late, right? And you can plan it with control system. And these are all my opinion, I would say, uh, basis my learning and insights from the gate exam preparation journey. But you can always swap something with something else. It is your choice, whatever you're comfortable with. But don't, my strong suggestion, don't do these two subjects after October. My sincere suggestion is that by October end, you should be done with analog and communication. Can you guys promise this to me? Come on. You have to finish by October end these two subjects, right? Max, you can go to November mid. Max. Agreed? Because if you don't finish analog and communication by October to November mid, you are screwed up. Right on the blank paper, you are screwed up. Because the moment you go into after mid-November, it gets very, I would say it gets very tensed. And I'll talk about also how to manage those exam phobia, pressure, expectation. I know, but this is very important strategy here, guys. Idea is to finish the big ticket, big complicated subject very soon, as soon as possible. Network signal will be done without any obstacle, without any problem, but analog and communication will give you a hard time. You might have to look some topics here and there. A lot of time you have to read from different references. You might have to watch some amazing lectures from MIT and Stanford, where they're teaching this, so that you can get better in some of these topics here and there. For example, I can take some example. Like in the recent trend, if you see in the last 4 or 5 years, in communication digital, they're asking more question from the probability of error side, and they're asking more question on the MAP and the ML encoding, right, on the receivers. And that is very difficult to tackle, right? So they have started asking good question of MAP and ML, which is maximum a priori and maximum likelihood receiver. So they have started asking question on this. And if you don't pay attention on the trend, the recent trend, you're going to get screwed up. Okay. Moving on to this, I think this is very simple. You can combine control system with MFT and digital with electronic device and circuit. So I'll take a pause here. Any question, guys, on this combination? You can take a screenshot. You can take a or bookmark this. And that's where I keep telling you guys, and I don't know, please like and subscribe our channel so that whenever something, this kind of discussion is going to happen, you will get notification in your phone. You can bookmark this video so that you don't forget that where we discuss about the whole gate strategy. If we are cool on this, let me talk about revision. Okay, once you have done the whole preparation, right, then you will not start the revision. Revision goes hands in hand. So suppose you have finished, let's say, network, then you will not do revised network once you are done with all the core subject. I am not saying that. Revision goes hand in hand with these with these core subject preparation. Let's talk about how to do effective revision. First, you understand the science behind it. So the science says that if you start any new concept, any new thing, right? Any new thing, and if you are just thinking about that concept being taught, maybe in 5 minutes or 10 minutes of time, you can immediately recall. You can immediately recall 100% of it. Guys, please look at this amazing thing which I'm showing on the screen. That is the data coming from the scientific community who has done these guys have done amazing analysis on effective revision, how to do that. This is more like the curve that shows that after you have learned something, how much you can retain after how many days. This is a chart that is what is showing. So if you see here, you can immediately recall everything 100% if you are just doing it revision within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? If you are revising after 20 minutes, you will see that you have suddenly you have missed 40% of what you have learned. If you revise after a day or so, you will be only able to retain 30%, guys. Come on. After 2 days, this number falls below 30%. And if you see that after 6 days, or maybe that the curve gets flat, after 6 days, retention is only 25%. After a month, you can only remember 20% of what you have learned today. You guys agree with this chart? Does it happen with you that you learn something, you can immediately retain everything, but after a day you forget 67% of the things? Did it ever happen with you guys? I want to hear from our students. Come on. कभी हुआ है ऐसा आपके साथ that you forgot 70% after a day itself? When I say 70% means everything of what you've learned, line by line. I think it's a very common phenomenon. So how to avoid this trap? How to avoid this trap? To avoid this trap, look at this. This is your trap which I have showed you. How to avoid that trap? First suggestion is that the moment you finish your class, your learning, your session, suppose you are watching, let's say, 1 hour of recorded lecture on TGA portal. So how will I do this? Suppose I studied 1 hour of TGA lecture somewhere, okay? Or I taught you something, for example, hypothetically. So what you do immediately after 10 minutes, what you do after 10 minutes, you make summary out of your learning, summary of learning. Nobody does this. Anybody is doing that? That after you learn, suppose you're at home, you can do that, right? If you are going and attending any physical class, you have to reach back and then you can do that. But does anybody do that? This is a very open and honest question, guys. And please answer honestly. Bhagwan dekhta hai, huh? Don't lie. Do you ever make a summary of your learning on that day or for that hour? I think answer will be no. Yes or no, guys? Come on, I want to hear from you guys. Ramagiri, Pratik, Amardeep, Mani. No. Very good, Raj. I really appreciate that you are saying with complete honesty that no, I don't do it, sir. Okay, Chatu. Anybody who does it, you make a summary. What is a summary? Right? Summary is like, suppose I learned, let's say today about network theory. In that network theory, I talked about, let's say, power. So what I'll do, I'll go and try to see that what is the power derivation, how power is related to our in our resistance, how power is for inductor and capacitor, and make a quick summary, some bullet points out of it. Please do that. The moment you do that after the class, right, you're not going to miss. So the moment you do that after your class, can you see that your retention is 100%? I know practically this is not possible, so you might do it after 1 day. The moment you do 1 day, you can start from 70% of the retention. Can you see this curve? Because in the last, if you see, if you do after 1 day, you almost lose around 30%. Your retention is retention percent is what after 1 day? Only 30%. So the moment you start forgetting things, before you forget everything, 70% you can retain after you start revising after 1 day. After a week you can do. So what is the cycle? If you see, you should do something, at least practically speaking, first revision should be done for any new learning within 24 hours. Write it somewhere. Suppose you learned anything today, you have to do first revision within 24 hours if you don't want to lose that concept from your subconscious mind. Second revision should be done within a week. So it cannot go beyond week. So I would say if you're doing a revision within 24 hours, you should do revise again after this range within 5 to 7 days. The third revision, which they have not mentioned, but I am going to add, should happen after 2 weeks, means 14 days. And the fourth revision, you can do it after a month. So for the same concept, one learning, power, electric power, you have done how many times revision, guys? 4 times over a period of month. Yes or no, guys? Come on. You have done the same concept revision for 4 times in a month. Agreed? Guys, come on. Agree with this? You have done this for 4 times in a month. And if you do 4 times in a month, one topic I'm saying, and you have to keep maintaining like a journal or some diary or some Excel sheet that I have learned, right? I have learned this, and then I have revised this 4 times or not. So you can make like revision 1, revision 2. You can make a subject. You can make a very good kind of, so I can give a very good table as well. So let's say this is your subject. Let's say this is your network theory. In that, you learn some chapter or some topic, right? And then this is your check boxes, right? Revision 1, revision 2, revision 3. You can set some alarm on your some app. There is a very good app to do from Microsoft. I'm a big fan of this app. You can put all those things and put an alarm to that. Suddenly after for 2 days, sorry, 2 weeks, your phone will ring and say revise power, electric power. So suppose you have done electric power, revision 1, did you do? Put a checklist, yes, 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 done. Like that, you have to prepare. You cannot prepare like just without any plan. You cannot just sit idle and think that suddenly I learned everything. It doesn't work. Okay, so this is the way you should revise anything. Understand, Pratik? I think you are asking a question that how we should revise. That's the way you should revise. Now, for example, you have completed network theory. So you can take, there are more or less any subject will have 4 or 5 chapters. Take one chapter at a time and revise like this. And keep cycling it. So I'll give a very simple story from my time, my preparation. I think on an average, I revised 30 times. And I'm not lying. And Bhagwan dekhta hai. I did more than 25 to 30 times revision for each and every topic in each every subject. I did around 10 to 12 times previous year's gate question. Means obviously I did it for the first time, then for the second time, and after that it's all revision. So can you understand the intensive level of preparation it demands? And what we do, we just want to flip some pages here and there and expect a rank within 100. It doesn't happen. And any topper, if you ask, they will always say that they revise a lot. Gate exam is like IPL match. You practice a lot. It's not about talent. It's not about IQ of 200. It's a simple exam. Anybody can crack with a very good rank if they are sincere. Okay. I know I am getting some messages that is preparation strategy from mechanical. Definitely it will come as I am doing for EC. Some subject matter expert from mechanical will also talk about, but that will be a different session, guys. Okay, similarly for civil. But definitely you can also learn, since you are in this session, you can also learn some amazing things which I am discussing. This is the art of revision. If you follow this, you are always going to learn anything in your life. Okay. Teja is asking, sir, is it okay to drop communication and analog, then study all other subject? I don't think so. Teja, I'll tell you a very amazing thing here. People always say that I don't want to crack gate with analog communication. You cannot crack gate without analog and communication. And even if you crack, you're not going to get the best seat, because see, the moment you do any of these two subject, idea of dropping comes to your mind, you should know that most of the MTech specialization is either from communication or from analog. You agree with me, Teja? So it's good to know these two subjects. Why to drop it? And that too, we are talking in the month of September. If I am having this session in November, I would say drop it, because you cannot do in 1 month. But as of now, I still see a very good hope for this subject to be completed. And at the same time, you can take two subjects from the easy subject, because network signal you can combine with one analog. You can combine control and digital with communication. What's wrong in that? Makes sense? Cool. Now I'll talk about importance of test series, which is the last agenda point, guys. So if you are planning for the test series, right, this is a very good session, where a section where you should understand the importance of it. Why we need to do test series. We're always scared of test series. We don't want to test our performance. We don't want to see the reality. Tests are mirror. You have to see it. If you don't see it, you are going to see it in the gate exam result, and that image will not be amazing. So please take my advice very seriously here. The first and important parameter to do tests is that it helps you to improve speed and accuracy. As my dear friends, you know that GATE exam is all about speed and accuracy. It's a competition. You are supposed to do around 65 question in, I would say, 300, sorry, 180 minutes, 3 hours, 180 minutes. So more or less, it gives you approximately 2.7 minutes per question. So timing is very important. You cannot crack GATE with like this attitude that I can do any number of questions, but I will do in my own time. No, you have to write GATE exam in 3 hours, and that's why you need to practice it. How will you practice it? For example, you finish one chapter, let's say network theorem, right? So do that chapter test or on the online test series and complete it. See how did you perform there. Make a good learning sheet there, that okay, just like another Excel sheet, that out of 10 questions I could do 8 questions correctly, but I missed on 2 questions. Was it a silly mistake? Was it a conceptual mistake? What did I miss? Learning from this question. Make more like a documentation, so that if you invest time in making these documentation now, my dear friends, it will help you immensely in the month of December and January when you're trying to do revision. Second important thing is from test series, that learning from mistake. As I've discussed, the moment you make mistakes, you learn from it. And the learning is amazing if you learn from your mistake. If you learn from textbook, some examples, some practice question, you don't do it, but you don't learn it. You actually tend to miss it. But if you do a mistake in the paper, which is like test, you never forget it. I think guys will agree with me. Overcomes exam phobia, which is very important. As I was trying to say, a lot of time it happens, right? That we are always scared of exam, although we have done everything right, we have prepared very well, and then suddenly when we come to this fact that I have to write GATE exam, our hand gets, starts trembling, cold. We start feeling cold feeted, right? Our brain is in a dizzy mode, right? So we have to be careful about this situation, and we have to master this. We have to come up with this kind of anxiety pressure, and we have to go into the test. What test I'm talking about here? Test series. You cannot go and test your anxiety in the final exam. You do some net practice before you play the World Cup. And that's what I'm trying to say. Write test, face your anxiety, face your fear, and overcome it. Agreed, guys? I hope it makes sense, right? Before you do these kind of mistakes in the final exam that can cost you 1 year of your career, and it can screw up your whole journey, better test all those experiments you do in test series and learn from it. Don't follow the second point, learning from your mistake. Just make a commitment with yourself that I will not repeat the same mistake. I will do mistake, but I'll not repeat the same mistake, and then you will see the progress. Improve the time management. Whenever I talk to my GATE aspirants, all the time they say, sir, I knew a lot of questions, sir, but because of time I could not do easy questions. It should not happen in GATE exam. So that's where another important strategy is that always track and do the easy question first in the exam. Don't be egoistic and excited that I'll do only the difficult question. Even if you do the more difficult question on the paper, it will give you 2 marks if it's a 2 mark question. The same easy question can also give you 2 marks. So become a more like a businessman here. I will only do the easy question first, and I'll do a time management there. How will you do a time management? Suppose you are looking at a question which you don't understand very well. What should be your next action? Move to the next question. Just mark that question for review. You can come and do later, but don't spend any more second on that. It's something you need to practice. Okay, cool. So last two things, self-assessment. So with the moment you write tests, right, you can see some amazing these days. Everybody is giving a lot of insights on your test performance, some dashboard, which subjects are you good in, which topics are you weak in, right? So a lot of very detailed level analysis you will get it from these days using some descriptive analytics. And also I think people are using some digital technology to give you some amazing insights from your test. So you will learn a lot about your behavior, attempting question pattern, right? You tend to miss a lot of things, and you will get all those things as a report. You can work on it, you can make it better. The last but not the least is that you get to know about recent trends. For example, GATE came up with in 2021 multiple select question, more than one option is right. Suppose you're not writing test and you don't know about this change which happened, right? or GATE is asking about, as I mentioned in communication, they're asking more questions these days on these topics. So these are the some recent trends happening in the GATE exam. If you don't practice test, you will not get to know about these recent trends, because sometimes we tend to miss it, and then suddenly we see that what we studied is not much relevant, rather what we missed is coming in the paper. So to avoid those kind of scenarios, you should also write exams, test series. Cool, makes sense, guys. So that's all about from me, and I think last uh, 5 minutes are dedicated to you guys to ask any question. I hope you got some amazing blueprint for your GATE exam preparation in upcoming 5 months. And my best wishes are with you. Keep supporting us. If you have any question, this is your moment. Please ask. I'll take one by one your question. And later on, if you still have some question, you can come back and put it your comment here, and we'll get back and reply. But I think this is all I had to discuss with you with respect to 5 month strategy. Now, don't waste any further day. Start today. Plan your day. I think the one important thing I missed to mention, that if you are really looking for 5 hours a day, you have to start waking up early in the morning. So my quick suggestion is that try to wake up at 6 a.m. Make a routine. I know it's a big task, big step. You have to take it in your life. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. if you study continuously by taking some 5 minutes of break here and there, right? Every 1 hour, you will be getting 3 hours of quality time in the morning. And brain is amazing at an amazing frequency in the morning, guys. Everybody has talked about it. I don't need to repeat the same. Every expert, they come and say that wake up in the morning and learn. Learning is the most important thing you can do in the 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and I think it's a very big thing I'm asking you guys to do, given your generation, Gen X and millennials, right? They sleep around 4 a.m. in the morning. You need to change the pattern. It has scientifically proven that our brain is in very good shape if you sleep around 11 p.m. in the night and wake up at 6. Don't extend your night beyond 11 p.m. It's my sincere advice. You will follow or not, I don't know, but if you really want to do something amazing in your life, you have to do something extraordinary in terms of your action. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I have done it, I have practiced it, and I have seen the result. Even today, when I had to do something new in my work, I start waking up early morning. I start going early bed. That's the whole plan. Okay. Now I'll take some question. So Raj is asking one question that keeps on hunting me. Will be able to crack it with a good rank. I think, Raj, simple answer is that you should not think about the outcome. Outcome is not in your hand. You can only think about the journey you can make. You can only think about the differential change you can bring day over day, rather than thinking about the end result. So this is my sincere advice to all of you guys. Think about this differential dx. I always keep talking about, and let's run it from A to B. A can be your 16th September, and this can be your, I think, 5th February. Always go a positive change, and you will see that you have covered and completed this whole thing. This is an example from my favorite topic in integral calculus, area under the curve. Just worry about this dx, which is your day. Don't worry about the future. You cannot control. Money, is it possible to score good in analog and communication by following crash course? I won't say you can score 100% there, but definitely I've seen students getting 60 to 70%, which is good. Because see, more or less you are getting 60% of the marks from these subjects. Did you see, guys? 60% of the marks is coming from these 6 subjects: network, signal control, digital, and maths, right? You just need some another 20% from communication and analog, EFT, and EDC. So definitely it is possible. Harish is asking how many hours do you recommend to sleep, because even if you're having college parallel, still I would say minimum 6 hours, Harish. If you can manage 7 hours, you have 24 hours, you have to well manage it. Trust me. All the top executive CEOs of the company, leaders in the world, they also have 24 hours, but they do a lot of stuff, right? And they also sleep good. So I think you have to manage your time. Stop using a lot of social media handles, apps. I don't know, Netflix, Amazon. You have to cut short on these things. Have quality time spent with your study and your family, and talk once in a while to your friends, and focus on the gate. I think that can be done. Dhruv is asking, gate and ESC 2020 concurrently nahi kar sakte hain. Don't do that. It will be a suicide. Just focus, singly focus. You have to become Dhruv. You can later take on ECE and add on the subjects, but not in parallel. It's very difficult. Okay. What is the right time to start full length syllabus test series? Very good question, Pratik. Very good question. October starting. I know you might be wondering that, right? October is too early, but that's okay. That's like an eye opener. I see a lot of faculties, they will say start in November and December. I don't recommend that. I beg to differ from them that if you write first full length test in October, I would say mid October, let's say 15th of October, it will be giving you a good reality check that, okay, you are not doing great, you are just getting 20 marks or 30 marks. That will be a trigger. It will trigger a lot of action on your level, right? You will might be getting more serious after this reality check. So let's have this reality check. I hope you'll agree with my logic here. You might screw up the whole paper. That's fine. That is number one mock test, 100 marks. Let's see how much you are able to do it. If you're getting 70 marks, wow, it will boost your confidence like anything. If you're getting 20 marks, it will tell you that, okay, I think I need to put more effort. I'm not doing great. I need to put more effort. And that's a reality check. If you're getting in October than in December or November, it's always better. That's my whole idea. Okay, so I think it was really nice to talking to you guys. And one last favor, please, anybody who is anybody who is looking at this video, please appreciate our effort. Try to like and subscribe, tap on the bell icon so that we are also getting some help from you guys, right? This is how we grow together as a community. The Gate Academy is putting all the effort that is required to get you the rank as better as possible. So you need to also support us back. So on this guys note, I think I did not introduce myself. My name is Akash Pushkar. I am an IIT Kanpur alumnus, currently working as a data scientist with Accenture Strategy and Consulting. And this is all these things I do more like a hobby and passion to help you guys to achieve your dreams like I did, I think, long back. So this is more like us giving back to the community, the student community, which I was part of it maybe a decade ago. So on this note, guys, thank you very much for attending my session. Keep supporting us and all the best for your GATE 2022. Thank you.